विनाश ओम हरि ओम ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः ओम समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं हरि ओम. Invoking God's grace and Param Puja Gurudev's blessings, we now take up the study of one of the most beautiful Upanishads called Kathopanishad. There was a rishi by name Katha, and this rishi taught this vidya to his students. Sometimes this Upanishad is also known as Kathopanishad. When we hear the name Upanishad or the name of any book, few questions arise in our mind. In technical language or traditional language, they are called Anubandha Chatushtaya. Their number one question is, what is this Upanishad? What is the subject matter of this? This is called Vishaya. Then, a very important question is, this Vishaya subject matter is meant for whom? Who is an eligible, qualified, competent student? The one who is desirous of this knowledge. And that is called as Adhikari. Vishaya Adhikari. Third point is, whenever a person is asked to do something or learn something, that person would ask, why should I do it? What is the purpose? What will I get? That is the result called phalam, aprayojan, purpose. The last of the Anubandha Chatushtaya is called Sambandha. How this knowledge of the subject matter is connected with the result. These are 4 points. Vishaya, the subject matter; Adhikari, qualified student; the phala, the result and the purpose; and Sambandha, relation between this knowledge and the result. All these points we will study as we take up the study of this Upanishad, in this Upanishad itself. So I do not have to explain all that in this introductory talk, because this is the beauty of this Upanishad, that this tells us everything. So in the body of the Upanishad, all these points are there, and when we study, we will see these points. These Upanishads are only called as Vedanta, the culmination of all knowledge. The Upanishads are found in all the 4 Vedas, Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samveda, and Atharva Veda. This Kathopanishad is found in the Yajurveda. In Yajurveda also there are two kinds called Shukla Yajurveda and Krishna Yajurveda. It is in the Krishna Yajurveda. Now what we find, this Katha Rishi gives this knowledge through a story. It's called Akhyayika. And the story is in the form of a dialogue. Dialogue between Lord Death and a very young, brilliant student called Nachiketa. Whenever we hear the word Lord Death, we all are very frightened. And particularly now at present, this coronavirus which is going on, so the death also is quite frightening word. But let me tell you, this Lord Death is called Dharmaraj. Dharmaraj Yama. And the Yama means the one who disciplines. He who has lived his life in discipline, following all disciplines, that we'll see later on. And Yamayati Yaha, Saha Yamaha. And actually it is the dharma, the righteousness, that only should be a controlling, regulating factor in our life. And this Dharmaraja, Yama, is the Acharya of Brahma Vidya. We should know that whenever we use the word Upanishad, sometimes we refer to it as a book, and therefore we go to a bookstall and we say, give me 2 copies of Kathopanishad. But Upanishad Shabdena Vidya Uchyate. By the word Upanishad, what is meant is knowledge. But since this book contains this knowledge and reveals this knowledge, therefore with great devotion we call the book also as Upanishad. So Yamaraj is Brahma Vidya Acharya. So do not get frightened of him. When Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji begins his introduction, he does namaskar. Om Namo Bhagavate Vaivasvataya Mrityave Brahma Vidyacharyaya Nachiketa Secha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vaivasvataya Mrityave Brahma Vidyacharyaya Nachiketa Secha. Salutations are to Bhagavan Mrityu Devata. He is called Vaivasvata, son of Vivasan, the sun god. Vaivasvataya Mrityave. And why do you do namaskar? Because Brahma Vidya Acharya, he is the teacher of Brahma Vidya. And the interesting point here is, he does namaskar to Nachiketa also, who is the student. Nachiketa Seja. This is the only Upanishad where Bhagavan has done namaskar to both the Acharya and the Shishya. The speciality of that we will see. What we find were that different Upanishads, and sometimes the Guru Shishyas are of the same world, this earth. A disciple is going to a Guru in this world only. The other is in the heavens. Like, Indra Bhagwan, Virochana went to Brahmaji. They are Devta Kotis. But here Nachiketa of this world went to Yamaraj's other world and came back also. And naturally, when he came back, he also must have taught to other students. So one way he also becomes a guru only, Acharya. Foreign return. He went to the other world and then came back here. The story is very interesting, we'll see. Now, the word Upanishad also should be understood. Very briefly, we'll see. As Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya ji has explained that, this Upanishad word is constituted of three words. One is called Upa plus Ni plus Sad. The Sad only becomes Shad. Upanishad. The literal meaning is Upa means near, approaching. Ni Nishchayena, with firm determination. Sat means you go and sit at the feet of the teacher and gain this knowledge. What does this knowledge do? That we'll see. But here what is important? The student must approach the teacher. Everything cannot be done online. The student has to approach the teacher, and the student has to be someone who is very eager to learn this knowledge. Upa. And then going there with firm nishchaya, conviction, determination that I have to gain this knowledge. That's called nishchaya. And sit at the lotus feet of the Guru and then gain this knowledge. What does this knowledge do? So there are three meanings of the word Sat that are given. One is, the knowledge is such that it destroys ignorance. Avasadhanam. Destruction of avidya, ignorance takes place. And when ignorance goes away, all our bondages created by ignorance, they are all loosened. Visharanam. But knowledge of what? So he says, Brahma gamayitrutveno gamayati. This knowledge leads the student to the highest truth called Brahman, which is his own self. This is the subject matter. So Upanishad means Brahma Vidya or called Atma Vidya. So Upanishad, Shabdena, by that word only, everything is actually pointed out. Now, this is from the standpoint of the student. He has to approach the teacher with determination and gain the knowledge. But from the other side, you see, the teacher gives him the knowledge of that something which is Upa, which is very near him, which he himself is. And he did not know. Why we say he? We did not know, we do not know. From the student standpoint, the student is going near the teacher. But the teacher is revealing the knowledge of that truth which is very near, very close to him. In the Upanishad or in the Bhagavad Gita, called Upadrashta. It is here only, my own self. And this knowledge also given by the teacher, Nishchayena. Now the teacher does not say, I think so, but maybe it is something different. It is not like that. Na atah param asti. The teacher says, this is the highest knowledge and there is no greater truth than that. Nishchaya there is. Nishchaya. And when this knowledge is given of that truth which is your own self, closest to you, with full conviction, then naturally there cannot remain any trace of ignorance, because the student is highly qualified and the teacher is great. So knowledge has to take place. That's Kathopanishad says very firmly when we'll come to those mantras, that there is no option. So, Katha Rishi has given this knowledge. I told you some meaning of the word Upanishad. And Upanishad is Vidya, Atma Vidya, or called as Brahma Vidya. We find in our Vedic tradition that whenever this Guru and Shishya, they come together. You see, sometimes a student may be at one place. He may be a good student. When I say he, it includes she also. Because the seeker of knowledge can be man or woman, young boy, girl, anyone. So the student is at one place and a great teacher is at another place. They have to come together, isn't it? It is the Lord who brings them together. And when they come together, and when they begin this study, first what they do is, they recite what is called as Shanti Patham, peace invocation. These Upanishads have Shanti Path. Now, particularly in this Yajurveda, this one Shanti Path is very, very famous and well known. We'll chant that, we'll see the meaning. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. The Veda mantras begin with the utterance of Om. Om is Parabrahma, Paramatma, Ishvaraha. So we remember the Lord. And here, the prayer is by Guru and Shishya both together. That's a dual number is there. Bhagavan listens to our prayer. So what is the prayer? Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Avatu. May the Lord protect us both. Protect us both. Sahanau Bhunaktu. May He protect us together and may He nourish us together. One is called Rakshanam, other is called Palanam. See, the parents have to take care of their children, look after their security, Rakshanam, and also they have to do Palan Poshanam, nourishment. Now the whole world at present is going through a difficult time, and all governments have to work for the protection of the people, to save them from the terrible influence of the disease. But at the same time, they have to take care that there is a supply of food and everything, because poshanam also is required. One aspect. Now here, you have to think little more. Protection of what? Whenever we think generally protection or our physical security, physical protection only, right? But what we mean here, when the student has come to gain knowledge, his longing for that knowledge must be protected. In the same way, the devotion that student must have for the Guru, even that also must be protected. It's called bhava raksha, bhavana raksha. Because if you find that if someone goes with this longing for knowledge and suddenly in between loses that, there cannot be any transference of knowledge. In the same way, the Guru's health also should remain good. And also his bhava towards the student and all that also should remain there. Bhavana raksha also. Then poshanam means what? The noble virtues which are required to gain this knowledge, they should be nourished. And what are those virtues that we'll see in this story, in the character of Nachiketa? The other Upanishad is Tadatmani Nirateya Upanishads Dharma Te Mai Santu. O Lord, may I be blessed with all those virtues which are necessary for gaining this knowledge. So you have to nourish the person with these virtues. Sahana vavatu sahano bhunaktu. Sometimes the bhuja dhatu also is used in the meaning of enjoying. Now, when the Guru Shishya have come here for this great knowledge, the important thing is they must enjoy the very result of this knowledge. We are not talking about some other worldly enjoyments. So may we both enjoy this result of knowledge, which is nothing but bliss, anand. Sahana bhavatu, sahano bhunaktu. And then, important is, saha viryam karavamahai. May we both together put forth our best effort. Teacher has to put forth effort to enlighten the students. The student may go on asking the same questions again and again, or there can be other problems. But he must have that utsaha, that compassion and all that, and teach. And the student also should be equally eager. Then only the knowledge will take place. Like if fuel is very dry and there is fire, then the fuel will catch fire immediately. But if the log of wood is soaked in water for months together and then you take it out, there will be more and more smoke only. But when the mind is dried of all desires of the world, then the fire of knowledge that comes there at this, it is kindled in the heart of the student and it burns all ignorance and effects of ignorance. That was sahaviryam karavamai. Tejasvina vadhi tamastu. Then whatever our learning is, tejasvi bhavatu. Our knowledge should be bright, brilliant. What is the meaning of bright, brilliant? One meaning is, first aspect is reception of knowledge. Second is retention of knowledge. And third is, whenever need arises, recollection of that knowledge. That knowledge should be available, readily available. That is called bright knowledge. In Sanskrit, there is a shloka, pustakastha vidya. Suppose vidya is there, but it is only in the book. So whenever you ask any question, let me refer to that book first. Now instead of pustakastha, computerastha. Anybody you ask, let me go to the net. Then the Wi-Fi is not there, the network is not there. Not only coronavirus, even the computer has a virus. So all our knowledge also has got virus. That's not called bright knowledge. The Tejasvi should be bright. And more important than that, when our life becomes in accordance with our knowledge, then that's called bright knowledge. Whatever I have understood, that I have realized, and that becomes my life, then called brilliant knowledge. Tejasvinavadhetamastu. Ma vidvishavahi. That is very important aspect. May we not dislike each other. May we not hate each other. Hate is a very strong word, but may we not dislike each other. And may our mind not get prejudiced. If the teacher feels what kind of student is there, or student feels what kind of teacher is there, or because sometimes, there can be many students, and some students feel that teacher is more partial to other one. So then what happens is, the mind is polluted. Therefore, there should be no misunderstanding. That's called Ma Vidvishavai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Now, Trivar Shanti is mentioned. 3 times. Obstacles, disturbances can come from the sources seen around us. That's called Adi Bhautik. Sources unseen, we just don't know. Adi Daivik it is called. And Adhyatmik, third, that which comes from within ourselves. Means from our body, from our mind, our intellect, we lose faith and all that. Adidai from the phenomenal forces. Now present time also that problem we are going through, this is Adi-Daivik type, even though it appears Adi-Bhautik, but we don't know how it has come and gone. We do not know any reason. Subjectively, something can be our physical problem, mental, and also spiritual. Do you know, when our body is ill, mind also is disturbed. Whatever the obstacle outside may be, but it has effect on everything. Even if Adi Bhautik is trouble there, some riots or something going on, but it affects the minds of people also or not. And there, that word calmness, peace, which is the spiritual being, that also is get disturbed. What is said here, as we are studying, let there be no such kind of obstacles. But at the same time, we cannot say that there should not be, we feel, but they come. But even if there are such obstacles, may our mind remain calm and peaceful. And that can remain peaceful only when you have got deep faith, Shraddha. I think the biggest obstacle any student can face is the loss of faith. As long as that faith, Shraddha remains, faith in the Lord, faith in the teacher, faith in yourself, that even though now the obstacle is there, but we can overcome that. If this is there, then Shanti. This is the meaning of 3 Shantis. We can also say the Shanti around us, Shanti in our nation, Shanti in the whole world. Let there be peace, peace, peace. We will continue tomorrow. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
A spiritual journey of 1,000 miles could begin with a single word, saturated in grace.
Through the voice of the Masters, made simple, insightful, bringing to you the bliss of unalloyed purity, diving into the depths of silence.
The science of reality at your fingertips, at your pace, at your time.
You change. The world shall change by itself. The world is projected not by me, but me, you and everybody.
Now it is simple. Just click and demand. Anytime, anywhere.
Chinmaya Mission beckons you to claim your ultimate online spiritual treasure.
Chinmaya clicks. Chinmaya clicks. Chinmaya clicks.
Chinmaya clicks.
High quality videos of talks and more available on your TV, PC, mobile or tablet. The on-demand learning experience